all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. Now, the first day of the Hasbro PulseCon has come to a wrap, and so I just wanted to take a little bit here and recap all the highlights from today's event. So I'm just going to try and go over this a little bit quickly. We have coverage, images, everything up on the websites, mostly Marvelous News and Jedi Insider today because that's was the main focus, Star Wars and Marvel. There was a little bit of D&D action figure news, so Hasbro had a little bit of a surprise for us there. So let's start there. For one of the first panels of the morning, Dungeons and Dragons, and they revealed that they are doing an action figure based on Dungeons and Dragons. Based on the Dritz, I think that's how you pronounce his name. The figure is going to come with quite a few accessories, including his cat, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce the cat's name. But the figure itself has 2 head sculpts. He's got his swords. He's got a little miniature cat. He's got some effects for his swords as well. So I'm not really into D&D. I have not played Dungeons and Dragons since eons ago. But as I understand it, this is one of the more well-known characters in the line. So I guess that's what they're starting off with. No mention that they're doing more figures necessarily, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do more, if this does particularly well. Now, this figure is going to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So it is up for pre-order, or will be up for pre-order at 5 o'clock today, which by the time you're watching this will probably be live. It is going to cost. It does have a hefty price tag. It also comes with a dice. It comes with an art card. It comes with fancy packaging. But the price on this one is going to be $39.99. So again, kind of a hefty price tag. But if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, this might be one that you want to check out. Okay, and then jumping over to Star Wars, so starting with the Vintage Collection, the main thrust of the Vintage Collection, main reveal for Vintage Collection was the Haslab project, which was much cooler than what I was expecting. The rumors that had been flying around really did not have me impressed, but I'll get to that in just a moment. For actual Vintage Collection figures, they showed off a new Captain Rex figure and then the Incinerator Trooper from the Mandalorian TV series. They also revealed some new prequel figures. I'm not sure if these have been. I think these have been seen before. But Episode 2, Anakin Skywalker, Battle Droid, Queen Amidala from the first movie, and a TIE Fighter pilot, which actually is not part of the prequels. But that's going to be in that wave. And then, like I said, there's a new Captain Rex and an Incinerator Trooper. And then for Haslab, before I jump over into Black Series, the Haslab project, which was probably the coolest Star Wars reveal of the day, was in fact the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian. This was my 2 choices. I either wanted to see a Death Star, which I'm a little disappointed we didn't see that, but I really was not expecting a Death Star, or the Razor Crest. So in fact, we are getting the Razor Crest for the next Haslab project. Now, this thing is going to be about 30 inches long, 10.5 inches tall, and 20 inches wide. It is going to cost $350, so it does have a hefty price tag, but it's about the same size as the BMF Millennium Falcon. It's in that same size range. So, the dimensions are a little bit different between the 2 ships, but it is definitely a decently sized vehicle. And if I remember correctly, the Falcon, even the more recent one at Target, I think was $400 or something. So, this is kind of in keeping with that. Now, they need a minimum of 6,000 backers. The campaign has gone live today, so if you want to go back it now, you can. It needs 6,000. I have not checked to see how many they've gotten so far, but they need 6,000 by November 9th. And then if they surpass 8,000, there's going to be an unlockable item. They didn't specifically say how many. They just said starting at 8,000, they would start unlocking stuff. So kind of like they did with the Haslab Sentinel. So they're going that route with this one as well. So the cockpit opens up. It can hold 3 figures in it. The back opens up. It's got a weapons locker. It's got a carbon freeze chamber. Like we saw in the first episode, it's got a detailed cargo hold. I believe that's even a toilet that was seen in one of the episodes. So it's got that sculpted in there. It very well, nicely detailed and everything. And it's also going to come with its own unique Mandalorian figure with a soft goods cape. So again, that one's $350, and you can go back it now, or you have until November 9th. Now jumping back into Black Series, so some of these we had seen, they just leaked out the other day, but they announced officially today. So they're doing a new Attack of the Clones, Phase 1 Clone Trooper, all new figure. So that one's coming. They announced Jar Jar Binks, which is going to be a deluxe figure, so they're finally doing Jar Jar. And then they are doing a Return of the Jedi version of Boba Fett, which has some pretty cool accessories like flames and for his flamethrower and a grapple. So those are nice additions there, and obviously has a little bit different paint applications from the Empire Strikes Back version. They are doing Sith Rey from the last movie. They're finally getting around to doing her with her double-bladed lightsaber. And they are, of course, like I said, we've seen before, the Incinerator Trooper and then the Armorer from the Mandalorian TV series. Both of those figures I've talked about. We've seen images. And this version of the armor differs a little bit from the one I'd previously talked about, which was the regular release version. This convention, or the one that would have been a convention exclusive one and going to be sold on Hasbro Pulse, has the fur, soft goods fur on her back, which I know a lot of people were hoping that the figure would have. The regular release version is going to have plastic, it looks like, and then you get the additional tools and stuff like the helmet and such. They also announced a new wave of archive figures for the Black Series. So, these are reissued figures, but if they're human characters, they're using their face scan technology and stuff. So we're getting Commander Cody. We knew that one was coming. They're doing a new Luke and Hoth gear that was originally with the Tauntaun, or was it the Wampa? Actually, I think it was the Wampa. But we're getting a new Luke and Hoth gear with a new head sculpt. We're getting Hoth. We're getting a new Hoth Han Solo. That one's going to have the brown coat. Also, again, with new facial technology, and we're getting a new Thrawn figure as well. And those, you'll notice they are featuring a logo, which is something I guess they're doing next year for 50 years of Lucasfilm. So they said more details on what that is will be coming at a later time. They also announced new holiday figures, so these started leaking out yesterday, images of these figures, but these are going to be store exclusives. They are Stormtrooper figures that have been repainted to look, very festive and holiday. So we're getting a Snow Trooper figure, which is going to be exclusive to Walmart. We're getting a Sith Trooper, which is going to be exclusive to Best Buy. We're getting a Clone Trooper with the ugly sweater, which is coming to GameStop. Then we're getting a regular Stormtrooper, which is going to be an Amazon exclusive. And then the final one, which is probably the coolest one, is a Range Trooper dressed as Santa Claus. And that one is going to be released as a Target store exclusive. And then the final Star Wars item that they announced today was for their Force FX Elite roleplay lightsaber line. So they are doing the Ahsoka lightsaber now. So we'll have multiple blades and things like that, like these more deluxe lightsabers have been having. And again, all this stuff should be up for pre-order now. Unless it's a store exclusive, it should be up at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, so now let's jump over to Marvel. So, real quick, an update on the retro line that I talked about in the last news video. So, basically, what's happening with those is these are the 3 3/4 inch figures that are minimal articulation. They have about 5 points. Well, they actually have swivel wrists, so you can technically say they have 7 points of articulation. These are on Kenner back cards. Yes, there was never a Marvel line on Kenner, but Hasbro owns Kenner, so they thought it would be cool if they did like a what if. Kenner had done one of these Marvel action figure lines back in the 80s. We all know that it was actually Mattel with the Secret Wars that did the figures in the 80s, but Mattel, Hasbro, they don't mix well, so you're not going to see, as long as Hasbro has the Marvel license, you're not going to see retro Secret Wars figures. Nevertheless, they're doing this line. They're starting out with 2 packs, which I talked about in the previous video with the Captain America and Black Panther. They're doing the Iron Man and Cyclops, and the final 2-pack is Spider-Man with Electro. They did actually announce a 4th 2-pack that they're releasing. It's a variant featuring Iron Man and Black Panther with metallic colors. So there is a 4th one there. Now these are going to be Hasbro Pulse exclusives. Again, they should be up for pre-order by now. They cost $20 each. But then next year they're launching a whole line of these on single back cards. So they won't be 2 packs. They'll just be the single back cards. The single pack figures are going to cost you about $10, and these should be available everywhere. I've been hearing mixed opinions on these figures. I really don't think the typical Marvel Universe or Marvel Legend collector who really wants their articulation is going to be too into this line. You might pick up one here or there. I probably will pick up Captain America. This really is, I think, geared more towards probably more your hardcore comic book reader who sees these on the shelf and decides to pick one up here and there, or even just somebody who's just a casual collector of superheroes. But I really don't think again, there definitely will be some action figure collectors who will be into these, but and this is just my opinion, of course. These may sell like hotcakes, who knows, but I just, like I said, I don't see the point of these. If you're going to give us 3.75 inch figures, bring us back the Marvel Universe line with actual articulation. I would rather pay a few more dollars and get that than something that only has so minimal articulation. And I also, if they just did like the 2-packs as like a limited thing, that I think definitely, because then you might appeal to just the collector who wants something that's maybe kind of would be deemed as a collector item. But when you turn it into a regular retail line, then it just becomes a 5 points of articulated action figure that you can get anywhere, and it's just I don't know. Enough rambling, that's my thoughts on it, but let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. I think Hasbro is definitely paying attention because they're really kind of feeling the waters for this. They want to see if there's actually any demand. I think they're kind of honing in on, first of all, the retro Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Ghostbuster figures that Hasbro's done themselves, but I think they're also looking at companies like maybe Super 7 with a reaction line and seeing that those figures are selling. And so they want to know if there's an actual market out there for limited, articulated, fairly cheap action figures for Marvel, and I guess we'll just have to see. Okay, so let's get into the Marvel Legends stuff. So it started out, the panel, if you watch the panel, it kind of started out slow. The first thing they revealed was the Stormbreaker roleplay item, which had been rumored for some time. But it does have lights and sounds. It's said to be pretty heavy and everything. So I don't know if you're into Stormbreaker. If you like the Stormbreaker, you might want to check this one out. Again, it should be going up for pre-order by the time you're watching this. Then they also officially announced the Silk figure, which is the fan winner. I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. They started talking about, obviously, their Hasbro Pulse exclusives, which actually I do want to touch upon. So if you're not aware, for most of them, if not all of them, they have gone to pre-orders on those, so you really don't have to worry about them selling out. If you got them initially, and there's been confusion, but yesterday they did actually have inventory in stock of everything. I got a few of them, so I know they're shipping in October. But a lot of stuff did sell out very quickly. The Cobra Commander, the Transformers, the Marvel Legends Hellfire Club, I think those all sold out really quick, like within the first 15 minutes. And of course, in those first minutes, the website really bogged down and people had problems checking out and stuff. So a lot of people ended up on the second day. Obviously, the first day was the premium. All those people walked away with inventory that was in hand, so they're going to get their figures, in October. I guess, you got to get something for $50. But the rest of us, you may have found that you're not going to actually get your stuff until March. But honestly, I think I'd rather wait until March than have to pay $50. That's just me. I don't know. But the moral of the story is, if you want to get these exclusives, they are still available. You can still go to the Hasbro Pulse website and you can pre-order them. And again, they will ship to you in March. Okay, all right, enough of that. The first Marvel Legend, new Marvel Legend wave that they revealed was the second Avengers Gamerverse wave. We had seen rumors of this. However, we didn't really know what the figures in this wave were going to be. We had guesses. I thought maybe the MODOK was from the game was going to be the Build-A-Figure. Completely wrong. There's really only two video game figures, regular figures in this wave, which is Stealth Captain America, which has an unmasked head sculpt, and they actually are using the photoreal technology, on this. So even though it's not a real life person, they're basing it on the game and everything. So they did use that technology. First time in the Marvel line that they're using the photoreal technology on something other than a real life person. They also announced an Iron Man figure, a new Iron Man figure, a blue Iron Man in an environmental suit. So this is something that you can unlock in the video game. So those are the two regular video game figures in this wave. The rest of the regular figures in the wave are all comic book based, and honestly I think are awesome figures. So we're finally getting Classic Falcon. I know a lot of people have been wanting Classic Falcon. We haven't gotten Classic Falcon since the Toy Biz days, so it was definitely time for an update. So we're getting that one. We're getting Kang the Conqueror, so we're finally getting Kang. Then we're getting Thunderstrike, which I'm really excited for. Now we just really need an updated U.S. agent. We got Thunderstrike, we got War Machine. Now we just need an updated U.S. agent. So Hasbro, make it happen. We've got Jocasta coming, so she's in this wave as well. And then the Build-A-Figure is Joe Fixit, the Hulk, where he wears the suit and everything. Now, this is based on the video game. My first thought was he should have a pinstripe suit, but, again, this is from the video game, so I guess he doesn't wear a pinstripe. Looks pretty good. Uses parts from the Kingpin. Hands and legs are from the Kingpin. The torso is supposed to be new. He's got his hat, which I wasn't clear if the hat was removable or not. I don't think it is, but I wasn't 100% clear. And these guys tie and everything. No machine guns, no alternate hands, at least nothing they mentioned in today's video. So what you see here is basically what you get. Then they talked about an upcoming docu-series that's going to be airing on Disney Plus called Marvel 616, and actually Hasbro is going to be featured in one of the episodes, so they spent a fair amount of time on that. But then they started doing reveals for 2021, which actually ended up being quite good. So we got a couple reveals for the Spider-Man wave that had been rumored. All rumors are confirmed. Now they didn't reveal the entire wave, but they did reveal the Miles Morales figure based on Into the Spider-Universe movie. They also revealed Ghost Spider, which will come with Spider-Ham. So redos of figures they had done previously, but these are much more movie accurate, as you can see from these images. And then the other figure that they announced, there was two other figures. So they announced an army builder, a hand ninja, is going to be in this wave, which again we knew was coming. And then the Build-A-Figure is confirmed as Stiltman. Now here's the thing about Stiltman. You can make Stiltman as tall as you want based on how many hand ninja figures that you get. Because the hand ninja figure will have the extension piece to Stiltman's legs. So you can army build and make yourself a really super tall Stiltman if you want, which I think is a really good idea. Now it is going to make that hand ninja figure very hard to get. It'll probably be impossible to find at mass retail. But here's the good news. I don't know what the case pack out on this is going to be, but you can go to your favorite e-tailer like a Big Bad Toy Store, and they should be able to order solid cases of these figures. And likely will. Now it may take you a little bit longer to get them that way, but that is instead of hunting around, tearing your hair out, turning to eBay and spending lots of money, what I would do is just pre-order as many of these hand ninjas that you want, and then just be patient and wait for somebody like Big Bad Toy Store, or like I said, any e-tailer or comic book specialty shop that deals with Hasbro, carries Marvel Legends. They generally have an option of ordering solid cases for these types of figures. So it's not something we often talk about, and then generally with the basic case assortment, Hasbro has this track record of making the army builders short packed. But again, which means that when Target and Walmart, which generally get their stuff first, you start seeing people finding them. But of course, when you go, you don't find anything, and then you get frustrated. So again, with these types of figures, you should be able to pre-order as many as you want from places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Now again, there are more figures rumored for this wave that I've talked about before, which include the likes of Peter B. Parker, Rectangular, the YouTuber Rectangular had been the initial one to discover the listings for this wave, and so far everything is checked out. But the other figures in this wave should be Into the Spider-Verse Prowler, Peter B. Parker, and then the one I want to see, comic book based Frogman, is going to be slated for this wave. All the others that we saw today were rumored, so I'm pretty sure about 99.9% that the listings that we've seen for this wave are accurate. They also showed us early digital samples of other figures they're doing. So with these, we're getting Arcade, from the X-Men. They are doing a new comic book based Thanos in celebration of the Infinity War comics. This is going to be sold as a deluxe figure. So this is probably going to be their best comic book based Thanos to date. They are doing, as a Walgreens exclusive, a new Silver Surfer based on the Thanos Lives storyline, a dark Silver Surfer who has Thor's hammer. I haven't read that story, but I guess, maybe he kills Thor. I don't know. That's what they seem to hint at in the panel. Again, I haven't read that story, but he does come with Thor's hammer. Then they started showing figures for the House of X Wave, which again, they had given us indication was coming. So the 3 figures that they showed for this wave are Maria McTaggart. Then they're giving us Professor X with the fishbowl head, and then a white Magneto. So there are more figures coming this wave, but for right now, those are the 3 that they're revealing. And I believe this entire wave will be based on House of X. This will be released around the time that the Haslab Sentinel, which is also kind of based on House of X, is going to start shipping. So they're obviously they timed the 2 things together. Then they announced we finally got answers to the clues that they gave with the yellow glove. They are doing retro packaging versions, a new updated Rogue figure with a new head sculpt, and they're also giving us a new updated Gambit. They are sold separately. I thought they might do 2 packs, but they're doing them separately, again, on the X-Men retro card backs. Now, these are going to be sold as Target exclusives here in the U.S., and then Toys R Us, I believe, is going to be getting them in Canada. The final reveal was another one that we knew was coming, but is now officially confirmed, and that is a Firestar. It is a classic Firestar. Now, one thing they didn't indicate in this panel, which was originally rumored, so I don't know if something changed or they just didn't announce it today, but they did say, the original rumor said that she was going to come with the dog that we see in the animated series, but they did not indicate that today in today's panel. But definitely it's classic Firestar. And I think this is going to be, if I remember correctly, it's going to be a single release, maybe a fan channel exclusive, but they didn't give us those specific details. It's just one of the figures they teased for next year. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll have more panels tomorrow to talk about. There's actually been some leaks on Power Rangers Wave 7, but I'm actually going to just wait until tomorrow. We do have that news up on Toy News International if you want to check it out. It's got figures like a new Army Builder Putty Man, but again, I'll wait until it's officially revealed. Something to talk about in tomorrow's video. We're going to have G.I. Joe reveals, maybe some Ghostbuster reveals. So I definitely will be talking to you likely again tomorrow in a new news video. But and things kick off tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock in the morning, and the first panel of the day will be G.I. Joe. I actually don't expect a ton of reveals tomorrow. I expect that they'll give us the official announcement for the retro second wave, which we've seen the Destro, the Scarlet, and now the third figure has totally slipped my mind. And of course those are Walmart exclusives. And then I expect that we're probably going to see Zartan and the regular release version of Cobra Trooper. I don't know if we will see anything else. Maybe if there's some store exclusives or what have you, but I think that might be really it for the reveals. Maybe I'm wrong, but indications are we're probably not going to get a whole lot tomorrow for G.I. Joe reveals. I hope we're wrong, because that's one of the lines I'm most anticipating seeing. But we'll just have to see. But again, things kick off tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we will, of course, have full coverage up on Toy News International. Until next time, guys, stay safe out there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and I'll catch you guys later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News Message Boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.